So, that was fucking crazy. Checking Twitter right now. Oh dear God, what the fuck is Coffee doing?
Oh God,
No.
she's on Twitter, murder on everyone.
Oh shit. She's
Oh,
bored.
God.
Oh no, she's hella bored. Oh, that's fucking bad.
It sounds like Carmen's having, one of
She's
I
having
would say,
one of her.
Is it usually with her?
Yeah, it is.
Isn't it?
When she's really fucking bored and she doesn't take to Twitter, she's just like, fuck it, I'll go to Twitter. And she'll just start spouting whatever she feels.
yeah, I've seen it in the arenas. You know when she's like on Twitter and all that,
Oh God.
like walking around the back. I get it. Some of us, are addicted to social media and the employment. But everyone duck and run for cover when Carmen's on social media.
Oh God, no fucking lie. There's a reason why. There's a reason why Maya has to take her phone away. me or Maya have to take her phone away because when she keeps on, she just doesn't stop.
Well, at least it makes for entertainment.
Right, it does. So man, March Madness, that was fucking wonderful.
That was a good trip in Miami.
Yeah, it was. It's not the first time I've been to Miami. Won't be the last.
And then we had London as well, going back home.
Oh, I miss London. I've been there too many times and I fucking miss it already.
I've
Home
been
for,
there once.
it's home for me, like, just going there, being home and all that. Considering the schedule.
Right. Yeah. Cause I remember the one time, I think Proving Ground, you kind of took everybody around different pubs and stuff, and you're like, oh, here's where I usually drink at.
Well, that's the thing, I'm not even I take people, around the pubs which are recommended to me, which I've recommended, but it's not because I'm an alcoholic. I don't drink.
Right.
But I take people around where I know people can get a good drink.
Right. I mean, because I remember that. Oh shit. That reminds me. Remember that time? We were at the fucking bar and trying to think who the fuck was it? It was you, me, Zach Stone, and Jordan Sylvia was there. And Jordan got
Oh, yeah.
shit faced.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh my fucking god.
And that was before I was even working as well, remember?
Yeah,
That was when I was a fan.
yeah, you were.
You would-
I remember that.
Everyone knows the story about Hitkid Worldwide. Before I, got onto the United desk in DCA, I've always been like, the one fan who wrote his opinions and was always stated.
Right. You pretty much had your own little written reviews.
Yeah.
And yeah, because of that, Darius and myself found you out, and we were like, he's a pretty spirited guy. Got a hold of you, and we were like, you wanna commentate? Because no lie, it was a revolving door, and we needed like a steady stream of commentators that are willing to stay. And you were like, absolutely. Now we're here.
And now I'm here and I'm doing jobs for not just DCA, CCL, TPGW. I'm even having to travel, over to the Orient regularly.
Oh.
Commentate for SCA.
Oh boy, how fun is it going Far East?
It's fun. I like the culture over there. You get used, to the culture.
Yeah, that's true. You do. I can't tell you how many times I've went there.
Yeah, it's why I get to know, Hitkid Worldwide, because I am legitimately worldwide,
Yeah, I met you through backstage one time, and just hearing you, I'm like, this guy's good.
Yeah,
You're good.
you as well, Charles. Like, we met TPGW WFS Sorry about the former friend on it as well. I don't know what got into him. Money talks, I guess.
Yeah, sometimes shit like that happens. I can't tell you how many times I've had issues like that.
Well, there's road run in hand.
Well, you know, Charles, I'm just gonna say, man. Before I even forget, because you know this is gonna be a hella long drive. We got some fucking hours ahead of us. You really held your own with Rex, and I'm proud of you for that shit.
Yeah. I will want to put it out on the line out there. People, I want to show people why I want to be here.
And you did, and I'm glad for you because for any new guy that ever comes into Battle Pro, I don't give them the easy way. You know, I always try to give them the best, toughest competition. And Rex has always been in that weird sense. Has always been like my gatekeeper. If you can have a good match with Rex, you're getting far. You're gonna go far. You had a really good match with him. You know. Which, you know.
Mileage just popped in and said future's bright for you, Charles. Right? Future's bright for you.
No.
I mean, you've got the family and everything. Yeah. I mean, look at your family. I mean, you've got a wrestling family. Am I allowed to say that? Which is a rarity.
It is, because you know there's very rare wrestling families. I mean there's Schultz, there's the Barnetts, there's me and Dante, there's the Sylvias in an extent, the Simones. This goes on, but you mean in the sense there's a lot of wrestling families that people know or don't know, but you and Tia and all of them have been really stepping up a lot lately, and I've been noticing that.
Me and her, we trying to prove ourselves. We want to be here for everybody. Like, we love this business for long. We've growing up, so we'll just show everybody.
Which reminds me, how did you all get started?
Well,
You want to go first, Charles?
yeah. One.
Go on.
Yeah, basically, I started wrestling right at around, say about 3 years ago, maybe. Trying to earn my way, whatever, trying to get noticed, at least trying to get myself to the ropes. So basically, wife, who wanted to, basically, Sam one, he originally did not want to be a freaking wrestler.
You want to be a wrestler?
My sister. She really never did. But it's been the hard work I went through to pull it up, and it's living the dream. I've been up through training. It's one of the toughest wrestlers. I went through a lot of wrestling too. I went to each shit to learn what I do now. Wasn't easy. Those were hard. Hard times, but here I am now.
Okay, yeah, mate. Can I say something? Was it a sense with Tia, like, you said she didn't want to start with wrestling? She didn't want to come into wrestling, you just said that.
Well,
Did she
yeah,
fall in love with it because you fell in love?
but some tragedy, personal thing happened about it. So, wonder if I ended up. But that let her dreams go on. She wanted to follow her dreams. She clearly had that dream, but she thought there's no way she didn't get noticed what she is now. Well, here we are.
For that, I salute you both.
Daughter and wife, the same thing. So whatever.
It's within the family.
Yeah.
And for that, we salute you. We're allowed to stay it.
No, we do, man. It's very rare to have a family that large to do something to get into the business, because it's a self-respecting business, Like, I could tell you from personal experience, it's very tough to break into the business. It took me a good number of years to finally break in, because I was just like Hitkid. I was a commentator, you know. For the majority of my life, I was a commentator because no other company really wanted to push me.
Yeah, I remember you coming to work in like. Can I bring up an old school federation here?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I remember, what was it? New Era Sports Entertainment, NESE.
Oh god, yeah, Patch and Josh. It's funny. I got that job because of Steven Santos.
Yeah, I remember the match when you called. I believe you called, weren't it, Muta Taker inside Hell in a Cell?
One of the most insane fucking things I've ever seen.
One of the. I was in attendance for that match, and it's still one of the. Like, I watched, your commentary back when I got home. When I got to the hotel that was one of the best matches I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, no, it has been. I mean, I can tell you right now, that night, Josh and myself, Josh Bishop, he doesn't get goosebumps often whenever he likes to call matches, you know? It takes a lot for him to just be like, holy shit, that was good, right? That night, he really was just like, at the table, and midway during our commentary, he pulls the headphones off and he taps me on the shoulder, and he's just like, "Loud man, my hands are shaking. Look at this shit. I can't stop shaking. This is fucking insane," you know. And when he got hyped, I was like, I got hyped, and we fed off of each other with that energy. You know, not saying that my years as being a commentator weren't, happy ones. They were, but I knew what I wanted to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wanted to be in the ring, and it took a while, but I got the opportunity to finally get in the ring, and look where I'm at now. And sometimes, even Charles, you have to understand, you gotta keep pushing no matter what, because you can't because no one can give you your dream. You gotta literally take your dream sometimes.
I fought from all this, so here I am now. I learned that advice. A lot of people have told me that. And here I am.
I guess that's why I'm different than, to both of you. If I could go. You guys know me. I'm the guy I started out as a fan.
Right.
Like, yeah. I've been to wrestling events for years now. And like, I remember the days when I would go to, and yeah, I'm going old school here. I remember the days I go to NGWs, DWAs, URWL shows,
Oh,
DWF.
fuck, yeah. I've been to a few DWF shows.
Yeah.
I've been in a few, and only one time I went to the DWF event, but I can't remember which ones they were, but
yeah, but like, I went to those shows.
People up there.
I went to those shows and like, look at Hitkid's Fed Anime Championship Wrestling. I became one of the most notorious, fan reviewers for that during, the saga restart of the JSA.
Yeah.
Like, everyone knows, like, you know how the entire fan base was divided?
Oh yeah, it was fucking crazy. I remember that.
You remember the social media, Malik? I was one of the most active people there.
Yeah, no, it was.
They got a good fan base, give them that.
Yeah, and
fans out there.
And I actually do have to thank Hakeem in a sense, because if it wasn't for Hakeem, I wouldn't have been where I am now, because it was that one fateful night. I remember I was actually at home, visiting and all that, instead of watching shows. But I remember Hakeem tweeted out, a shot about the Destiny Championship Alliance. You need to tune in, you need to watch it. Proving Grounds 2. Very first ever DCA show I ever watched. And I tuned in that night. It was being live broadcasted. I tuned in that night. I remember a good amount of things from that. I remember it was the first ever encounter between Akira Yukimura and Vanessa Price. Which is still, considering how far those two have come along now, since that first match they ever had. But the one thing what made me fall in love with that night was I remember watching, and you can go with this, your brother Dante and Saxstone beating the hell out of each other that entire night.
Oh shit, yeah.
I remember that was a brawl. That was like,
I got some fucking stories for you on that one.
I can imagine.
But watching it as the fan, it was like, oh my god, why are these two, fighting all this long time? Why are they fighting all night? And I believe I want to say it was Eddie who said about what it was what Dante did, which I went to view straight after.
Yeah.
It was fucked.
God. So, as a fan, y'all watched that and y'all were like, holy shit. As the guy behind the scenes and the wrestler, a lot of people were afraid because Dante had, I hate to say it because, Vincent's probably watching this shit, and he's going to be like, ha ha. I'm gonna be like, fuck you. But he had that Leo Rush heat, in a sense.
Oh.
What was it?
The only and here's the reason. He kind of had that heat in the sense of they felt, a lot of guys in the back felt that he never paid his dues. Which, I'm not saying this to be his brother or anything. I'm also saying this as the guy that helped train him. Nah, he paid his dues and then some. But a lot of people felt he never paid his dues. A lot of people felt that he didn't really belong there because he was just an ex-convict that fucked up in football and tried to just be a wrestler because that's all he could do. He hurt, I've heard that shit before. He's heard that before. And Zach, at that point, was one of those dudes that kind of felt that way. So, there were points in that match where they were shooting a little bit.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, they were because Zach was trying to be... Because Zach had a little issue with Dante. A lot of people had issues with Dante. And, for the lack of a better term, Dante knows this. Dante's a loud mouth. He likes to run off at the mouth a lot. That's just him. He had this tendency... He's calmed down a lot now, though, with it, but he always had this tendency where he didn't know when to not be in character. Okay, sorry about that. We got fucking pulled over for a bit.
Sorry. Oh dear God. Do you remember how you were on about Carmen Twitter?
What is she doing now?
What is she?
You know how we're just gonna win and that. She said she didn't get to see him.
Yeah.
Even though we did take her on, even though, I did give tours out and all that. God damn it. Let's be honest, how do you put it? I had to direct everyone in the city.
Oh, of course.
Even though I did get my time with, the person about the most stuff.
Oh, that's always good.
Like family and other people, significant others.
Which, by the way, thank you for knowing when to leave me and Carmen alone on time, so thank you for that.
Hey, dude,
everyone else, apparently everyone else that time didn't know when to fucking not leave us alone, but thank you for doing that.
Dude, you knew what it was like that.
No, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but she's saying if we ever do a whole UK tour, she wants me to be the one to take her on like a whole UK tour.
Man, that's...
Oh dear.
That works.
Good luck with that.
I'll say I'll accept.
You're gonna forget some days. I'm just gonna say right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna be hungover, but used to it.
But no, what we were talking before I got pulled over was yeah, Dante just kind of had that little heat to him, and that night, him and Zach kind of were. They were shooting a little bit, and honestly, they just kind of got some aggression out on each other because they got to, I guess make up for whatever Zach ever thought of Dante. And after that night, Zach kind of looked at Dante like, okay, he's not as bad as people think he is. He's rough around the edges, but his heart's in the right place and he knows what he wants. So it calmed down after that, but they still were amplifying that shit every other match.
Got it. Good
Did they try to hurt each other?
Zach and Dante?
Yeah.
Like, outside of the ring?
No, like when they were doing the matches, and she said they shoot each other. Bit. Was there like people legitimate like hurt to send a message?
That one time when that one night on Proven Ground too, when Zach was trying to throw him into the fucking electric box.
Oh yeah, Jesus, I remember.
No, he legit. So the whole idea was, okay, you're gonna slam him in the electric box. The door wasn't supposed to open, but Zach had the door open, so
Oh, I can only...
he wanted to fucking burn him. So yeah, that was one of those. Dante actually knocked Zach's 2 front teeth out. So yeah, they physically hurt each other in that match. Like Zach missed 2 front teeth, Dante got electrocuted, legit got electrocuted. And then the big payoff when they fucking speared each other off when when they went off the fucking stage and stuff. Dante cracked about 2 ribs on the way down. And he did that to himself, And I think Zach messed a disc up in his back. So yeah, they got all this shit out. After that, it's been after that they're like, yeah, cool with each other.
And then they tried to top it. They tried to. What was the mood like when they were going in, to like the defending Felt Redemption?
Oh, what the hell in the cell?
Yeah.
Well, they pretty much were like, so how we, they kind of just went over like what we're gonna do to outdo ourselves, and Dante's like telling them, "Oh fuck, they hate my guts. They love the hell out of you. They want to see a murder. So, I guess I'm going through a cell door." And Zach's like looking at him weird. He's like, "The fuck? Are you sure about that?" He goes, and Dante's like, "No, but fuck it, let's do it."
Straight up.
Because Dante knew people hated him. He knew how much heat he had, and he knew like, dude, they're gonna fucking love it if I get damn near killed in the ring. So,
oh yeah, we did all that.
Yeah, so he played off of that shit. He knew people were gonna be into it, so he's just like, all right, he's like, look, Zach, I know what the outcome is, so you might as well like put me through the cell door. And he fucking did, and people were like, and they really, and it also was kind of pressure for them because this was like, they were, if I remember, they were the main event. It's been so long. Yeah, they were the main event. They were the main event.
They went over, weren't it, Anthony Lewis and, was his name Anthony Casey, or was it, oh, am I thinking wrong? Because there was another Hell in a Cell in that card.
Shit's been so long. But I know for a fact that they were the main event, and that was like a last minute change up too. Because the fact that they were main event was a last minute change because the original main event was going to be for the world title. But then they switched it up because they realized, God fuck, this is like the hottest thing we got right now. Everybody's losing their collective shits. It's been, and they were just letting, everybody's like, fuck it, the Celestial title is going to be the main event. Everybody's like, what? And Zach and Dante are like, shit, now we got to add like 5 more minutes into the match. And they did.
Well, it's in a sense though, where like, those great personal feuds in a sense. Sometimes this, like, and this is just me speaking, like general wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes those personal feuds can become the main event without even titles being a factor.
Oh yeah, I mean,
like, just think, like, I'm sorry if I'm going to trigger a bad memory. Just think about what happened like a year later at the same event.
Carmen and Revy? Yeah.
I remember, that was the night where I mostly got, my reputation around the DCA family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that night, I was in Madison Square Garden that night.
I think I remember I went with my wife at that event.
Yeah, I went.
We were in almost in like the lower section front, near like the stage, that kind of deal. And we're just watching that. We're like,
Disturbing. It was.
literally. My wife had to look away more than once.
What was the atmosphere like? I understand why you were Millie. I get why you would have been, stressed and everything. Because you also had your match with JC on that card.
Yeah.
I remember
was a
visiting back.
good
I
match.
remember visiting backstage after that event. After the show had ended.
Mm-hmm.
And the pure chaos.
It was fucking horrifying because... Okay, so first off, so many fucking things weren't even supposed to happen in that match, and it did. And there was a point where it went too fucking far, and Carmen didn't want to stop the match. Like, nobody, the people in the arena probably don't know, but the ref multiple times tried to throw up the X and call the match off, and Carmen's like, fuck that, no, I'm going on.
Oh, I could hear it from the front row.
Yeah, and I'm like, and we're in Gorilla, and I remember this. I'm in Gorilla. I'm sitting in a chair. Tyler, Smokey, Danny are with me. Maya comes in along with her mom. Her mom came backstage. To this day, I don't know how the fuck she got back there because no one told her to come back there, but she did. And all I can remember, while I'm trying to come down from that fucking mindset I was in, was why the fuck is Carmen keep going on with this match, and what the fuck is Rebecca doing? Because Rebecca, you know what? I don't fucking care. I'm gonna be real. I fear no person, so I will call Revy by Rebecca, because I'm, whatever. But she is and forever will be a loose cannon. She will be unpredictable as fuck. She will do shit in matches where she's been specifically told not to do something, and she'll do it. This was one of those nights where she went too far. We told her she went too fucking far. We told her what the limit could have been. She said, no, we're going to push that limit. And she did, because no one told her to strip Carmen down and start beating the shit out of her. No one told her to do that. No one told her to do that, and she did it anyway. And I remember everybody in the back is flipping shit because they're trying to get that match done. Like, the Wildcats, the whole fucking roster of Wildcats are being held back by every dude in takedown because they're wanting to run out of that ring and fucking rip Rebecca a new one, because
she went too far that night.
Yeah, she went too fucking far. A lot.
I remember after the show when Carmen no was wheeled out while people were leaving. I remember, who was it with the guest? It was.
I remember.
It was the Haya. It was the Haya MTB. It was the Haya MTB. I think Eddie was there.
I remember talking with MTV, straight after the event.
Yeah.
And saying that was no way was that supposed to happen. And that's when I jumped the rail and came backstage and saw it.
Yeah. You got pushed out because we didn't want anybody back there.
Oh, I know, but you had to see it to believe it. Am I allowed to say that?
You did.
I remember outside that night.
Oh, it was riot. It was full blown riot. It was riot feeling.
That's what it. My wife literally said the same thing. Get out of here quick.
No.
That was crazy.
Yeah. So that night also kind of was a. I call that night a very bad night for me on so many levels. It's not just what I did in my match with JC, which kind of pushed story-wise my descent into madness, but it also was a bad night because that was the night that was the night my fucking relationship with Carmen got exposed, which was bad. And that was also a night some physical pain happened to me because Carmen's mom punched me in the face that night. She was mad at me because she told me in very colorful words what she thought about me bringing her little girl into the business. And you know, I rarely talk about it, but you know, it's kind of fucked up when you come back to work the next day. People know about your relationship, but people that, you know, never liked you and, you know, said some shit about you would always go out and whisper behind their ear. And I got to stay with Carmen a little bit at the hospital, but other than that, I was told I was forced to not be in the hospital. So there's that too. So yeah, it was a pretty fucked up night for everybody. And Rebecca, she kind of got away with it. Kind of.
Yep. Kind of. Almost did get away with murder, let's be honest.
She almost did. I mean, the only thing, you can. It was like a bittersweet victory because after that they suspended her for a certain amount of time, and they kind of cut back whatever plans they had for her for a good while because she was supposed to be world champion at that point, and they just said, "Fuck it, you're not getting that. You're taking all this cuts," and she's just like, "Fucking whatever." And you know, at that point, there was a lot of the girls in the back who had it out for her after that. And these were girls that didn't even like Carmen, but they just felt like that was uncalled for.
It was too far.
Yeah, and so... No, you can't, because, I mean... No, you can't fucking blame them. I mean, shit, she was the only girl, the only woman on Wildcats that had heat with both fucking divisions, and both divisions wanted to fucking have her head. Like, it wasn't just Wildcats. It was Takedown too. A lot of people there was just like, that was fucking unprofessional of you. That was uncalled for. We would blacklist you, but that shit wouldn't. But, you know, you still find a way to come back anyway. So they just punished her every chance they got, you know. Like, you'd be at house shows and she'll have a random match with somebody. They'll just take their fucking whims and just, you know, take their way with her. I'm trying to remember the match. She had one match with look, it was a house show. She had a match with I can't remember. I think it was Selena. Could have been.
Oh, it's during the start of the rebellion days in the sense. Or was it before Battlefield?
This was before, and Selena kind of didn't have a contract at that point, but she was doing like, you know, house show matches, and she was in other
matches.
Huh?
Tryout matches.
Yeah, she was having tryout matches. So Selena knew about, you know, what the fuck Carmen did, and, you know, one point in the match, Revy had a chair in the ring because she was gonna do the old spot, do an old you know, heel spot where she would take the chair and the referee would be like, "No, you can't have that chair in there," and shit. Selena just goes right off fucking script, grabs the chair, and just as hard as humanly possible, just blasts Rebecca in the fucking head with it. She literally put a dent in the fucking chair. She dented her whole fucking head on it, and then just start wailing on her. Yeah, did not fucking stop. The referee had to pull her off, and the match was called off right then and there. The ref made an impromptu "fuck that, no, ring the bell," and she did not stop. every time it looked like Rebecca was getting up, she just kept wailing on with the fucking chair until it took like everybody until like the locker room almost cleared out trying to pull Selena off of her. And ladies and gentlemen, that's why Selena Vega didn't show up until like it wasn't because she was looked over. No, it was because she tried to commit fucking homicide in the middle of the ring. Cause she tried, cause
nah, this is the first time. Yeah.
no, like, you know, it's funny because a lot of people always want to play that story out like, oh, you know, DCA overlooked Selena Vega because they overlooked her because they would much rather have this person or that person. No, it's not the case. We would have put Selena in the contract. She just decided that one time Rebecca had to learn some fucking manners, I guess. So she just grabbed a chair and started dinning it over her fucking head, and Revy actually had a concussion. Like a very serious fucking concussion. And I hate to say this, but as hardcore she fucking was, she still showed up and was like, I'm ready for my match. Like, fuck, you're not even medically cleared. She's like, so look like I give a shit? Give me my fucking match.
When she ever been medically cleared?
Oh my god. That's the thing, it's Bradley. Like,
I mean, shit, yeah.
I can't. Go on.
No, like, I'll tell you right now, like, I can tell you straight up, she's got cracked ribs that have never been healed. Her fucking left knee is busted because she's had crazy shit happen to that. But she never wears braces or anything. She doesn't want to do any of that shit. She just like fucking. She literally drinks and sleep. Her idea of healing is literally drinking it off. She drinks it off and goes to sleep. That's literally her way of healing.
Jeez, I remember when we were in London last week and she was in that bar all night. Not half the patrons were, you know, laid out cold and all that. Don't fuck, she seemed to mess with us.
Fucking course. I had to drag.
But, like,
Remember,
I was the one that had to drag her ass out of there.
I can only imagine that was probably not a good time. Like trying to.
No,
well, it was kind of funny to see idiots, you know,
I'm saying
try
what,
the piece.
trying to get Revy out of there. That.
oh yeah, it's
She was
fun.
right.
It's fun if you see. It's fun if you're the one watching, but it ain't fun when you're the guy that's got to pay for the. You got to pay $500,000 fucking quid in damages.
At one time, I think it was. Remember, what was the last? I think it was. No, it was Eastern Invasion. There we go. Remember, backstage, I was getting her ready. I had like, right.
No, they are the match.
Yeah, I'm just sitting, just wondering, what the hell? And I just hear the breaking with some, like, clear, 3 feet from me. And I'm like, what the fuck is breaking that? I'm like hearing it. And I turn around and, oh. Bradley.
Downing a fucking bottle, right?
Yeah, she was literally.
Was that before the match with Kitty in the cage?
Yes,
It was.
It was literally before that.
Wow.
Wait,
I was at the desk that night.
wait, question. Because I think I overheard a lot of people worried about that. Was it a bottle of whiskey that she had with her?
Yeah, well, I probably not. I just trying to remember. The last thing, got up, stared the devil at me, and just walked out and went through a match.
Oh fuck. Okay, so I'm gonna say. Let me point out. No, that's not. It's not your fault. I've found out during her time in DCA, she's gotten it. Whenever she's gonna go into any match, like the Ronaport death match, for one.
Oh Jesus, I remember that.
She drank like a fucking fish. Her thing is she'll drink 2 bottles of vodka just to get ready for that match. Any kind of cage match, she'll just down a fucking bottle of whiskey. That's why I asked. That's literally her way of getting ready for match. That's like her way of getting ready. She basically followed the Mad Dog Vachon method of getting ready for matches.
I remember, you know, that Ronaport death match because I was asked, you know, to come in and see over the of all things, because kind of a weapons expert, I got called in, to see over the C4.
Oh shit.
The landmines.
Yeah. Yeah.
How-
God,
that-
don't
how's
talk to
that
me about
great?
fucking landmines, dude. I still get
That was-
flashbacks.
That was. Oh,
I've seen a lot of matches like those in the past.
TCW Deadman Wonderland.
Oh my god, dude.
I remember that night
I've
as
been,
well.
I've been at that show. I better not remember that.
I was doing the same though. when
dead
Matt
sorry for you,
Butcher
man.
and Sane did
Yep.
that spot where
Oh
they
my
both fell.
Yeah.
And I think someone put too much on the landmine because I was like, that was, how do you put it?
Yeah, that was
But it was because two went up, right next to each other.
where they landed. There was like an extra stack that wasn't supposed to be there, and that's why.
Wait,
Like where they landed, I guess during the course of the match, they felt that there wasn't enough because they felt like it wasn't enough on that one side. So they were like, "Oh, we're gonna get it for that juicy burn." So they added way too much than they should have. And then when they actually landed on the landmines, that's when the fucking landmine blew up in Butcher's face and tore Zane's mask and his face up too. Yeah. Which fun story, by the way. When Butcher did his match in DCA and V, and Vince had kind of, talked about his fucking scars. We played that whole part of like, oh, he got attacked backstage. Legitimately, he did get attacked. It was an altercation backstage. But I think the only thing that was over exaggerated was, oh, he put him to the table. No, what actually happened, because Mark, Mark gets that shit too much. Like, people's like, oh, you wear that fucking mask, and I mean, how long has it been? It's still, and he's still scarred. That's some shit you're not gonna, like. It took it took him 4 hours just to get his the left side of his face okay, because they had to actually take pieces of skin from his back just to match up to his face. Like, it took them 2 days just to get the shrapnel out of his face. Then took him the rest of the day just to fix his face. So when Vince had said that, I mean, I remember, and God, I was in the back for that shit. He said that. He said that when Vince had said that right there, because I remember he was on commentary and Mark was like watching on. Mark walked up to him and he was like, "Hey," and he had his mask off too, and he was like, "Does this look fake to you? Does this look fake to you?" Vince is like, "What?" He couldn't even get a "What are you talking about?" out. Yeah. Mark just belted him right in the face. Just belted him. One punch, knocked Vincent the fuck out. That was it. Laid him out.
Yeah. Hi. Before we were filming. So I didn't know what I was gonna go into. But I didn't think I was gonna have plans. Probably I was gonna do whatever
Right.
about maybe having a match on the show.
Well, of course.
Was this the Raven Dark match?
Yeah. Which I always back to him. So I'm legit, I never knew this until I was told to be on the show. Whatever. Right. I remember I met you guys right before I was coming into you backstage that night.
Mm-hmm.
We talked. I remember at the time.
Yeah, we were
Then
just
I
shooting
was
shit.
told yeah, we were. And then I was told I had to go pick him the beat off. And I was like, okay. But I didn't think at the time. What this about? I know. Told the rest of the year as well. Then I was told. I was in the match. Okay, I did not think this. Because me, my mind at the time was world match. Okay, I can blame. And then I found out it was Raven Dark, and I went, I'm going to land a grave, am I?
You can't think of it like that. You gotta go right for it, man.
Yeah, I immediately did. I went, okay, how's this gonna go? I know I already had talked to Mike anyway. have to plan up. Well, alright. So then I was having a free match. Here's the I did. It was basically arranged with the second match because I know I'm running into you Hitkid that night.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And I had that, and then when I also had that ready at that.
Dude, you're not the only one though.
So wait, before that, patient, Jim. Now, everything's pretty good. Okay, I put on probably best one of my good matches on that night. No, even I still never really worked today to see after. You did good. That was good.
Yeah.
And then the third match. Well, you brought out the best off me. I'll give you that. All the second of one.
Raven's one of those guys. I think just Raven's one of those guys who go backstage and like the backstage leads through the big old band in the sex.
Yeah.
I usually will go to him and play matches with people.
If you ever need someone for like advice.
Right.
No. Yeah, and then.
I mean, it's people like him, you know, like who's like, how do you put it? Like, I've been in many backstage environments. You understand, right?
Mm-hmm.
Traveling and all that.
Right.
And like, I think of CCTW, like, and even the people who mentioned, like, Malik have talked with you many times, talked with Carmen many times. You know Carmen Maya.
Yeah.
I knew like we are pretty friends and all that.
Weirdly enough, that's the you finish up because there's also something funny because since you mentioned Maya, a lot of people always ask me about that because they're just like, you know, you're always friends with Carmen. What does Maya fit in all this? I'm like, none of your business. I think it's obvious why they asked that, but at the same time, I'm not gonna tell them why.
That's the obvious answer, though. Like, excuse me, it's their lives.
Right.
Which
why I'm not gonna lie, at fucking Crossroads, I was already pissed off going in.
Yeah, I remember I saw you. And I saw
Oh,
the
you
look
were
on your face.
pissed.
I'm going.
No, because
Why?
okay, so the thing was, Vincent was going on this. Vincent decided he was gonna air grievances. Everybody remembers that shit. He decided he was gonna air grievances because he hated the fact of how I treated him in DCA. Because I told him how I tested this man because a long time ago, my trainer and my mentor, a gentleman Gary Simone, you know him, Hitkid, legend in fucking England. He told me a long time ago, you're gonna have people who are going to tell you how you're supposed to look, tell you how you're supposed to act. A true star, true wrestler, a true man in this business does not change for anybody. They will stick to what they are just to say, I'm not changing who I am. If you stick up for yourself, then they'll have more respect for you now. They'll have more respect for you later on now, right?
Yeah.
I tested V, and I was like, look, I don't know if you're gonna I don't know if you're really gonna have people be serious about you when you come out looking like something that they probably see on a YouTube video of some 16-year-old wearing. No offense, you look like a fucking yarder, and that's the last thing you need to be if you're gonna try to say you had training, you are a wrestler, you know. So since he was you know, put him in the department, I gave him an idea, gave him some fucking tights because I actually do make tights on my back, on my ends. And I made him something. And I made him that gear that he wore. Because A, he was super fucking self-conscious because he never wanted to show himself off because he wasn't in shape for it. So I kept him the black shirt and everything. And since he was a technical marvel and everything else, I gave him the idea. And then, you know, that's what he wore. Nobody shit talked him about it, right? You know, but he hated it. And so he kept that in for years, and instead of telling me straight up that he didn't like it, he just bottled that up and everything else, and then, you know, he used that for the promo. That's fine. I didn't care. That was the cool thing. What he crossed the line on is when he started bringing Carmen up. No one fucking told him to say that. No.
I remember watching it and I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, like that was the one point.
I got onto him that night.
No, everybody did. No, because I wasn't there that night, right? I was not there. But I remember Matt Farrell blew my phone up. Matt rarely calls me. Matt Farrell rarely calls me for shit, right?
Yeah.
Matt gets me on the phone. And he goes, Malik, for the love of God, don't look at, like, Malik, there's a video up. Don't watch it. Don't listen to it. Just let it go. Enjoy your day. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, just don't. Just don't. And I end up watching it, and I sat there going, are you fucking free? All right. And I was ready to I actually was ready to go up there to TPGW where I was at, and I was ready to find him and rip his fucking throat out. I was ready to beat the shit out of him. Like, I was ready right then and there. What stopped me was Maya. Maya stopped me. Like, I'll say this. I don't tell people this, but Maya saved Vince's life that night because I was ready to commit murder. Because he went too far on shit he didn't understand. You know, that same old shit I already had to deal with in DCA back then, where people were just gonna brightly assume that Carmen and Malika are on the rough patch and they're not together anymore because of this reason, that reason. So I was already angry and upset over that because I was like, I already had to deal with that shit enough. You know, I already had to deal with that petty, two-faced drama, high school, angsty tween shit in DCA with everybody. And so when he brought that up and he started bringing that shit to other places, I'm like, I mean, how would you feel?
Yes.
So yeah, I was pissed. And instead of what I wanted to do, Maya saved me, kind of said, don't feed into that. Don't feed into him. Don't do that. I mean, if you're going to whoop his ass, then whoop his ass. But don't do what you're going to do. That's not worth it. And so I cut that promo instead, still kind of reserving my anger for when the night actually happened, and then everybody remembered that night, and I took every chance I got just to lay in there.
You could tell there was extra, emphasis.
Yeah.
Legit say, thinking, legit said this is the next day. At this point, before the game try to kill me.
It's like, how do you put it? It's like when you warn people, you understand?
Mm-hmm.
About, like, it's like when you warn people, about what they're saying.
Yeah.
And they don't take advice. Like,
the fucked up part, people told him not to go that far with it. Matt Farrell told him not to do that. Like, Matt of all people were like, Vincent, for the love of fucking God, don't go that, don't cross that line, because if you do, you better be man enough to take the beating you're about to get. And he got the beating,
he got he got it.
Yeah.
He didn't say shit to me afterwards, I know that much. You know.
Do you remember? I know we don't like bringing this guy's name up sometimes, even though you have done work for him before. I remember that line, Sahaya dropped when, during one of his reviews where he mentioned, what was it? Maya is only known for being Carmen's girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I got onto him that night. I phoned him up and I was like, dude, what the fuck did you just write?
No.
Like, don't you understand the shitstorm you're gonna create here?
I mean, especially at that point where everything was already kind of high energy and everything else. Like, that was pretty much at the situation where Zahaya decided to go into business for himself, to say the least, on some people including myself. And then he started writing that, and it just kind of really didn't work out the way he wanted to.
I remember his thing about like Quick World. But I remember.
Oh yeah, he went off on you.
Yeah. So I'm sitting here. Me and Guy was. Sort of, whatever that night.
It was your
But
match with the Iva.
Yeah. Me and him wanted to be whatever. So this amount of minutes, and okay. We went with it. We whatever. Then next like day later or whatever. I can't remember. I think yeah. And I see that I'm like, seriously? Okay. I was like, well, like, the match was freaking I know you were there week too, but I remember you took on who was it again?
I think it was, wasn't it Melly first?
I think it was Green Arrow, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and then went. So then my wife was next to me reading that. She was like, "Wow, this guy must." She really didn't. Whatever. So I kept on. I think next. I remember what show. Oh, I think it was live or something. I did talk to Zaya on backstage one time. Well, they have something don't get along anyway.
Yeah, he doesn't get along with a lot of people at this
He
point.
doesn't get along with any of us these days. Let's be
No,
honest.
he doesn't just get along with a lot of people at this point.
Like,
'Cause-
even though I work for CCW, I need to make this clear. It was Matt Waters, who invited me.
Of course, I mean, obviously.
To come and do commentary. Like that night when I showed up, in the arena.
No, he didn't like it. Obviously he didn't.
Like when he saw me, pull up in the arena. First words out of his mouth. Why are you here?
Right.
That's 3 words out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Why are you here?
Yeah.
And I told him straight. I said, listen, Matt Waters invited me. I'm going to go and discuss business with him. And quite frankly, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Possibly. And then when he found out I was on the desk, he played like that night. Even though he acted, as commentator self.
Like he tried to keep it. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, he fucking stormed off the desk after that night.
Are we talking about Battle of the Gods night?
Oh, that night when he cut the feed.
Yeah.
When was it when you showed up?
Oh yeah, and I invited everyone that night.
Yeah. No.
But,
Yeah. So it's funny you're talking about Battle of the Gods because Charles, you probably weren't there for that night to know when the feed got cut. What happened? But after the night, I'm not gonna lie, so before that happened, everybody stormed off backstage. I went backstage because I was ballsy enough to do that. I literally went to Sammy and I went, look, Sammy, none against you for what happened. If you want to punch me, you can punch me, but you were just in the wrong place, wrong time. I was just playing a part, but I didn't want you. So I was like, we cool. I actually put my face out to him. So you want to take the first hit, you can, if it makes you feel any better, because I just wanted to take whoever I was out who was in that ring. So I'm like, so Sammy understood. Sammy wasn't mad at me for that shit. Thank God. So at that point, I go in the back. Zahia's there with police officers, and he's like,
I remember.
Yeah, he's like, you're not even supposed to be here. And I'm like, no, I says, no, I am supposed to be here. He goes, and he's screaming at me like, how the fuck you're not supposed to be here? And I sat there going, how about you say it to my face without the police officers? I says, no, I was invited here. I told him, I was like, no, I was invited here. I didn't just hijack the show, motherfucker. I actually was invited to be here. And he's like, who invited you? And I was like, and he got mad. He's like, was it Mac? Was it Mac Waters? Like, he was asking Mac. And he was screaming and shit at Mac, right? And him and Mac started getting into a fucking verbal argument. And I told him, I said, hey, I says, Mac didn't invite me. He's like, who the fuck invited you? I go, Balalenka invited me.
And his world,
That probably.
his face. I remember seeing his face.
I told her, the woman that keeps your fucking company going invited me to the show.
I can only imagine he was even more annoyed at
He
that
went
moment.
pale.
No,
he
he
ghostly pale.
Oh no, he was fucking shocked, and I told him, I was like, and I was just like, and you know what? I'm still gonna show up to these events because she made sure I get a spot on the show every chance I get. So, you know, and I kind of told him about the court date too. I says, oh, and our court date's ending pretty soon. And at this point, it did end, and I kind of told D-Wall what happened, but you guys are gonna find out when the next ZZW show shows up. Because guess who's gonna be at CZW?
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
Oh no, I'm coming. I'm showing up there. He'll probably play it off like, oh, I'm somewhere in the arena, not supposed to be there. No, I am supposed to be there. Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna change a lot of shit. You thought he was ghostly pale then? Oh no, you're gonna see some fun shit afterwards.
That night, Easter invasion. And finding out that I end up, God. So for listeners, here's our thing. I remember for that night.
Yeah, it was his invasion night where he made
I was
feeds
legit.
watch out.
I was legit sitting in the back going, wow, this is show. If anything getting further.
I had, gone, backstage. I
think you were sitting next to me. I think you and I were literally sitting next to each other.
Yeah, I was with you backstage, and I'm like, what the fuck? How the hell did this happen?
I was legit. Then there. We were both like, well, what the
I legit thought I was gonna get fired. I'll say it clearly. I legit
wonder
thought
what
I was
your
gonna
reaction
get
was,
fired.
Malik. I think you were like literally 2 feet or 3 feet away. Look on your face. What's going on?
No, I was confused.
I think everybody was in the back.
For one,
Yeah, we were.
to be honest, with Sahaya, and I'm being truthful, he was upset with me, being on the road to Battle of the Gods and at Battle of the Gods itself. You understand? But like, even in places, where we're supposed to be like chilled out, he still, gives me that look. Like hell, it was last week. I was. You know Adam Malik. You know Adam.
Yeah.
Adam Jackpot does New Dawn. He brought up some shit which was, personal to me.
Oh, is this what
You heard about this. Oh no, you know what I do outside the ring, not just with family, but with friends and
Yeah.
Yeah.
people, as I'm gonna say. He made a
Yeah.
reference to it like live on the air. It's yet to air, by the way, but he made a reference to it, live on the air. And I legit was like, pissed with him.
I can only imagine you probably
I'm
wanted
like-
to rip him apart for that.
Oh, but that's the thing. After the show, he left straight away. He left. Just walked out.
Remember,
I don't get
what
where
other week?
I don't get where his head has gone. It's gone somewhere.
He
Hell,
consumed
his
by
head.
greed. Consumed by greed, pretty much.
Yeah, and then people will follow him, right?
Greed and
No greed?
empathy. Greed and empathy are the two words I'd recommend.
I won't even
And
give him it.
especially-
I won't even say empathy. It's just straight up greed. No, it is
No,
greed.
I remember. Hell, I guess people want to call it the same greed, but whatever. I'm looking back that one night. I remember he tried
Oh yeah, that me. Yeah, you don't. Having someone you knew from childhood as one of your best mates in high school and all that. High school and college and all that.
Mm-hmm.
In case anyone wants to know the name, I am, James Needham.
Yes.
Having someone who I've known since high school, grown up to be friends with him. I mean, hell, family and all that. We're close and all that. And like, to find out that night he had not called or anything, and like I knew he was, training to be like I'd seen his, so I was happy for it. And he got signed by Mr. SRH.
I remember.
Like, I was over the moon for him to be signed, but then that night when he came out and was revealed, to be in league with Zahaya.
Yeah.
And like, so that's what our friendship meant for like 20 years.
Hell, I remember. It was right before we got signed for the best. I saw Shogi was. I'm like, you know what? I was working with that, so I do now. I actually went to SRH actually and vouched for me and him get signed because me and him were close. We were close friends.
He's mentioned that.
Yeah, close friends. I vouched for him to get signed. And then, the night, I legit, backstage after his match, I legit shook his hands and congratulations. That was good. See, you can do, so we keep doing more good things, right? And then later that night, well, here we are now.
Yeah, he dropped you on your head for it. Dropped you on your head for it. But here's the thing. We knew that was the angle of what was going in, you understand?
True.
What he did with Zahaya was not an angle.
No.
Right.
That was a shocker to all, because let's be honest, that was Zahaya, doing a purple. Like, he even blindsided MTV that match on the desk. Like, MTV was like, legit, what the fuck is this? After that night, after Royal Rumble, it was night one, weren't it, of the week in Australia?
Yeah.
MTV was like, what the fuck is this, Zahaya? And Zahaya's like, yeah, I've signed him. He's the champion now. Got a deal with it, tough, Matt.
Yeah. I was legit probably at home. I was still like to stay at home with my wife that time for a week. And legit watching that, I was going, you gotta be kidding me, right? And
There are all
just
these-
hearing, I was literally saying, okay, Cy Morgan's behind this? That was shocked everybody.
I don't know, got somebody good, but
What makes it funny though, because we were just talking about Zaya.
It's funny because because you talking about him, it reminded me again over some stuff back at Battle of the Gods, and when we were talking, and after all that, and he was like asking, more like yelling at me, did you fucking bring Cody here? Did you put Cody up to this shit? And I was like, no, I didn't put Cody up to that. Whatever Cody does is his damn business. And he's just like, bullshit, you fucking broadcast this. I didn't bring Cody up there, man. I didn't. Like, because I legit didn't know Cody was there.
no one knew Cody was there.
No, like, Cody literally fucking ghosted in the arena. No one knew he was showing up. I didn't know he was showing up. So I just sat there going, I don't know why the fuck he's there. Like, I had a reason. I knew why specifically, but I didn't know he was actually in the arena, and he kept arguing about that with me. I was like, look, maybe you need to ask your so-called brothers why the fuck, why he's there. Maybe you should ask Xander and fucking Zahaya. Maybe ask them why Cody was there, I says, if you still keep in contact with him, if you and that he just got even more heated. And I just said, you stand there, get heated all you want. I know you're not going to do anything. I says, you're too much of a bitch to actually sue me and fucking not even show up to defend yourself because you're a punk bitch anyway. But, you're going to sit there and get mad and say, like, I'm the coward. Right. But, yeah, it's weird because if you noticed, right, that entire time, did you notice that nobody, like Luca, Zahaya, Xander, Priza, fucking none of them showed up to stop me. None of them.
I was gonna say, would it usually be the one that
Well, I remember, like, Breeza was Zahaya had previously moved to a local medical facility straight away. Remember after a match
Yeah,
with
cause she
Tia?
got busted up the hard way. But
Yeah,
you,
because Tia fucked her up with that headbutt.
yeah, like she headbutt the fuck
Oh,
out of her and bust her open hard way. No, but no, it was like when I did all that shit, right? Why the fuck would you send security out there? Matter of fact, you would think if I'm invading your company and I'm trying to wring your owner's neck, how come your guys didn't show up? Darren Payne didn't show up. None of them showed up. Luca didn't even bother to show up.
Yeah. I was literally watching that, and I was going, where the hell? I was expect not security. I was expect those names you mentioned would be showing up. I'm
Like you would expect,
Yeah,
yeah.
like-
I mean security, yeah, but then you would
Oh, yes.
expect,
Oh,
the
yeah,
actual
security.
guys. Yeah, like yeah, security,
like-
yeah.
like the names you just mentioned.
Yeah, but like on the desk, I remember it. Like you were just going in the ring, you attacked Sammy. Sammy was the wrong place, wrong time. You understand?
Yeah, he was, and I
But
told him.
what do you call it? I remember Zahaya asking for security, and then I see these 2 security guards come out. You understand?
Yeah, like.
I'm like this, and
Yeah,
and,
two.
and, yeah, 2 security guards, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm getting flashbacks here because a week before I had called what do you call it? You know, UCW at Tafala
Mm-hmm.
with Fee and all
I
that.
heard.
And I remember Fee after the match with Revy and Daisy Johnson had Revy escorted by 2 Shield agents. And I said to Fee off screen, Fee, you do know 2 agents ain't going to be enough. Because as it was reported after the show, both of those agents were, how do you put it? DOA,
Yeah.
dead on sight.
Yeah,
But
because
like, I was like,
I-
when those 2 security guards came out, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? But like, you could hear it in the commentary, and this was shoot commentary. I'm like, Malik's gonna kill these 2 men. And what happened? Malik,
I would.
you
Beat the
them
shit
to a
up-
bloody,
beat
you
the
beat
shit
them
out
to
of
a
them.
bloody fucking pulp.
Beat the shit out of both of them.
I legit saying sitting there at my freaking couch watching that, and I'm going, okay. Malik is going to rip them apart. They might want to try to run. Just get the hell out of there. We'll stand there.
And I was telling them, and what the fucked up part was, they came in there and they're like, look, sir, you have to leave. And I'm like, and I told them, wrong place, wrong fucking time, boys. Y'all got 2 choices. Get the fuck out and get ran over.
Well, then they didn't.
No, they got ran over. And then
They got-
that whole shtick, you remember when Zahai decided, it was like, oh, I know what the fuck he wants. All right, send him in. He gonna send Walter in there, right? And we all,
yeah, I remember this then, Walter.
yeah.
It was like, give him what he wants, give him what he wants.
No, because I wanted Walter, because Walter decided to shoot and fucking put two of my fucking friends, my fucking friends I've known since I was a kid growing up, since I've known, and he decides to put them in the goddamn hospital for no fucking reason, but only because the only reason they were put in the hospital was because they felt it was fucked up how I was treated, and then they were also insulted because Zahaya decided to shit talk the company they were in, to shit talk the company they helped start with everybody else. So
Remember,
you know, and I'm not stupid. I don't think anybody else is stupid. Everybody knows I fucking paid Walter to fucking injure them.
I
was legit watching that.
I remember, like, I wasn't in the arena that night, but I'm like, Walter, like, when I walked past, Walter backstage,
Yeah.
Walter is a pure wrestler, you get what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Pure
no.
wrestler, serious wrestler and all that, but I'm like, that's so out of character for him.
Yeah,
back to that thing. Real quick. I was legit in the arena that night. I was literally thinking, this is not the usual Walter I would think at the time. I'm like, this is, what the hell? Is he trying to legit hurt these guys?
No, he did. He put fucking.
And I mean, you just said that.
He put Black and Jazz in the hospital, then he put Wera and Sky in the hospital. Fucking put both of them out of commission. And it's not coincidence that these are the very same 2 people that decided to walk out on the match because Zahaya decided that he was going to mock and ridicule the very company that gave them their shot and they are loyal to, and they tried to help build with me and everyone else. And all of a sudden, it's supposed to be a coincidence on that.
I remember the Rumble. I just can't remember which one. Since I know Zion was pretty.
Oh, you're on about the Infinity Rumble. What was it, like 2 days ago?
I think so. Yeah.
The
like
what?
James
The,
Cameron.
it was what we
Was
did
it?
last. What it was like 2 nights ago, wasn't it, guys? Vindication.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
And like I remember this. Sahaya got pissed. Like Sahaya, when both his reps got Omega and Khan.
Right.
Like
I
Charles,
think there's a funny
Charles,
story
you
about
eliminated.
that.
Yeah, you told
it
me
was
after
funny.
the show, but
I remember. Now, I think I was gonna have to be honest, truthfully. So look at Larry told me in the ring. Like, okay, I've just seen Kenny probably gonna get eliminated, I think. Right?
No, of course.
I'm legit, I'm saying it right now. Being in the ring with Michael Myers scares the hell out of me. I'm just saying.
Oh,
Just scares me.
can't blame you though.
really can't.
I legit going. That man it scares the hell out of me. Ain't gonna lie. So now, went in. I did not. Luke Khan was actually fully. He originally came up to me or whatever. Somebody I can't remember. Who suggested the
During the
idea?
match.
Yeah, during the match. Like chokes, just constantly out.
Make a name for yourself.
Yeah, chokes him out of the ring. I was legit saying, right? I'm like, wait, what? You serious? Okay.
Yeah, because
I didn't think.
I remember you talking about your original plans in that you were supposed, to last a little while, but not really get any actions.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then then Luca gave you that call, as I remember you saying, and then as soon as that was done, it was then you somehow picking up Michael and throwing him out. I don't know how you did that way.
It was on pure adrenaline at that moment, because you know what adrenaline can do to people. Malik, you probably understand it. It will make you do crazy things.
Dude, I fucking bench press Gorilla Black over the top of my head. Yeah, I knew what adrenaline does.
See, right there. Yeah, so there goes Epson. I
like-
lost him over top. I was like, damn.
Like,
My shoulder was legit like turned at that moment.
Yeah, like you guys know, like Vindication, like even though after the Rumble, my thoughts weren't even on the Rumble. Thoughts were on something that happened earlier on in the night. Because I get we're talking about Sahaya and his reaction. Malik.
Oh, I was getting to that. Zion was not happy about that.
Oh, I heard about that.
He was legit not happy. And I went,
I thought he was gonna walk off the desk.
I know, I think backstage, true.
No, the funny part was like, if we're talking about the fact that if we're talking about the fact that you eliminate Luca, it's funny because it's like, I didn't know Luca was gonna give you that shine. So he was fucking pissed about it. And the thing about Luca was like, yeah, do it. And for Zahaya, he's so in his own hype that he was just like, I don't see the reason why these fucking nobodies should get an elimination off of either of you and whatever. Trying to spout that shit, and I overheard him. He was like trying to actually, I guess, strong arm his way into the decisions until they were like, no, this is what's gonna happen. And they kept arguing, and it got to the point where both Luca and Kenny were just like, we'll just do whatever the fuck we want. So they were like, okay, so this is what we're gonna do. So Kenny calls on the fly, take me out of the ring. Luca tells you like earlier before, chokeslam me.
Yeah, it was legit. It was like
So
legit. I got in the ring. I was just like, I can only imagine the heat this is gonna bring. Oh boy, I think I probably overheard Kenny saying that. And I went, oh boy, what the world?
yeah, Kenny literally on the fly just says, eliminate me. Like,
Just
Well, Kenny's thinking about what's coming up in the future as well. That's
exactly.
what
So he's not gonna but that pissed Zahaya off, and Zahaya was just like, what the fuck? And I remember in the back just throwing his shit. And he's just like, why? What the fuck? What's going on?
Was it the desk?
Yeah, he actually stormed the fuck back out and was like yelling like a
remember-
madman.
as soon as I got eliminated, it was after, or probably a year playing later. I remember going backstage, and I was just seeing how his or things I went back and found. I don't remember. But he was just talking with Wookiee or angry or something. Going, jeez. This
I
is
remember the look Luca gave you though. Like I was walking backstage just to say good rumble to you, and like the look
Yeah,
Luca
legit.
gave you, like it was like, don't take this the wrong way. It was like Luca gave you the look of, you know, like I gave you the rub. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, I didn't even know I was gonna get that, to be truthful. Until at that moment, that rumble.
Yeah.
I was legit probably gonna go into probably like you said, the original claim is probably gonna get gonna be in along with nominations.
It's fucking funny though, because you know, it's funny we talk about Luca, and the weird thing is about him is that during my point when me and Zahia were cool and I was in ZZW and I got to meet a lot of them, and I brought in my own guys because, you know, Zahia wanted the talent. So it's weird now because I remember how Luca was then. I know how Luca is now. I know for a fact because I've been in cars with Luca and Micah and the Oppression, and I've also been in cars with Ben and them. And the thing is, what I found out about it is that because Luca found out about some shit that kind of, you know, went sour about ZZW. I already talked about this before.
You've already said this. I remember you saying it better.
Yeah. So the thing is, Luca hangs out with Vin a lot more than normal because whether we want him in or not, Vin's a veteran. Vin's been here longer than Luca, so Luca will go to him for advice sometimes. So I know for a fact the majority of the time he's always going to Vin asking him like, what should I do? What's the situation? And Vin will give him the best sound advice he ever had. And he's just like, huh, you know. So I think we're at that point now, because this also goes back to the fact that every time I've been there, I don't see Luca or anybody stopping me. I think it got to that point where everybody is just doing their own shit and they don't want to be a part of it because they're not trying to be a part of it, because I think even they feel something's fucked up and they're not gonna, you know, join in on it.
Because they kind of know something really wrong about it.
I mean, they're not gonna sit there and act like I wasn't just wrongfully fired for no fucking reason. You know, like he took a situation that I did. That was just story. Not me what I am off camera. But he took that, acted like I was really that off camera, and then just severed ties with me and then said I was unreliable and all that other stuff. So, I mean, there's some fucked up stuff to that. But I just always found it interesting how 9 times out of 10, if I see Luca, he's always with Vin, and there's and the end is with him too. Like Micah and the Oppression are always with him now. And Vin just sits there talking to them, you know, trying to see where they're at and help them out. Like, in a weird way, Vin has become a second mentor to Luca.
And that's strange, you know, how you said about Finn
Yeah.
being that second mentor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you put it? You guys know more recently I've had one of these instances. Like, you know, like how you've had the instance of House of everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone knows recently, the past couple of weeks, I've had an issue with a certain female person, who blew up at me.
Oh.
And this is because of a match called, you know, over in Japan, over in the Sumo Hall. Well, you'll remember this. Yes, it is. I was over there for SCA Revelation. And we all know what match it was. It was Sakura Hagiwara. A lot of people are excited about this match. There's been a lot said, you understand? And like, I understand, you know, Millie, you said about Dante, you know, before playing the gimmick.
Yeah.
You know, playing the gimmick. Like, when I was going in to commentate this match, I knew Lucina's gimmick, like what she said, sacrifice all this, I get it. Like, everyone in this car, we can all agree, we respect the hell out of Sakura. From where she's come through and what she's gone through to get to the point she's at.
No, but it will. Like, that's just a little nuts with it.
A lot of female virtual wrestling. A lot of people who join virtual wrestling look up Sakura. But like, I went into commentating that match and I knew the backstory. I thought Lucina hates her. Because Lucina thinks Sakura is what's wrong with virtual wrestling. And Sakura, meanwhile, wants to show, someone else who's, doubting her. Like, you've mentioned this, how many people have doubted her.
Yeah.
And I thought Sakura's here to shut Lucina up. And we all know the result. Sakura made a Lucina tap. But it was after that show, which really bugged the fuck out of me.
I remember.
But like, she went on and she said straight away, I did not tap the referee screaming. There's like 30,000 people in the arena watching.
And
the referee right there, and I'm right there ringside, and I saw you tap out. And I mentioned this to her. And like, as soon as I mentioned it to her, she, mentioned this to her via social media, she shot back at me. You understand?
Yeah.
Saying what complications I've got.
Point.
And then
everybody, you said they're doing it, right? Saw it. And you,
Yeah.
everybody around the world watched saw it.
yeah, because it was so high.
I remember. That's the thing. She tapped out. That's the thing.
And then I'll tell you what was the worst part though. I'm currently going over the, calling the SCA climber.
Yeah.
And like, this was before the incident that happened in London, which I would rather not. But like, I go over there, to call the B block. She's involved in the B block. And like, she's over. She's set to take on Betsy Classic B block, to open the show.
Sure.
She legitimately, like, Matos had warned me. Matos said, listen, she's unhappy. You understand? She thought your comments on Facebook were a bit, too harsh. And I'm like, dude, she tapped out, and I'm gonna say it's facts. One thing I am is I'm truthful. That night when she walked past me, when she walked past me, because how the Japanese tables are set up, how the United States is set up, would get close to the ring barrier. And this is something what people don't know happened behind the camera, but I'm going to mention it now. Everyone knows I wear glasses and all that. That night when she walked up to me, she knocked the glasses straight off my face. Slapped me, right in the face. Right in the face like me with a shiner. Thank you very much. And people wonder why I'm awfully hateful about her. That showed me that it's not character of her, she's just a being filled with hate, in my opinion. And like, that's where, the heat comes from normally. Because I'm like, you're going to be that unprofessional. And like, that night I just was calm on commentary and I remained with professional duties. I was pissed after the show, but like, that's why I was so pissed off at Wembley, and especially as the higher encouraging her.
I think it was in probably what office I think I was there. I think you invited me for it or something. Okay, probably.
Yeah, I invited you over to Wembley to watch you cry. I invited friends over.
I think I was told to probably talk about spot whatever or something. I think you were there.
Sudden Impact?
Yeah.
Sudden Impact.
Remember that, because I think, was it you that recommended me to
Yeah, I
beat
recommend
the Sudden Impact?
I recommend you to do well.
So I was just like sitting there, watching, seeing that, and I'm like, God, what the hell is going on here?
Dude, you remember the fucking hole? I had to pay damage expenses. You remember the fucking window in the back of Wembley? When I went backstage, I fucking threw a chair through.
What was your reaction awake at that time?
Over what, at Wembley?
Yeah, when Lucina, one that showed up and got us title.
I just sat there thinking, well, she's not gonna make it out the building.
That's mostly what I thought. I was like, you're not gonna make it out the door. It's weird because I kind of went up to her because I kind of just went up to her and I just like, hey, I get it. You're a pissed off person that wants to show that you're better than everybody and whatever, but I'm gonna tell you right now, that kind of attitude does not get you far. The shit you're doing now, that can only get you so far, and when it dries out, it dries out. So be ready for when it dries out, and pray that you can actually come back from it. Because if not, then you'll be just another Neville was, you know. She just scoffed at me and walked away, and I was like, okay, looks like she knows where she's. Looks like she chose her fate.
That's her attitude, though. I would just say it.
I legit, I was walking towards the office. Probably waited for some. Seeing her, she gave me the most look, and I'm like, why the hell are you looking at me like you're really something really
Oh, she's angry with everyone. She's angry with everyone.
That's legit the first time I've ever come across.
Dude, do you remember the time? Malik, do you remember Lucinda's reaction when she found out backstage?
Lucinda, when
When it happened. After.
That's why I said she's probably not gonna make it out the arena. Because Lucinda was like, the fucking moment that happened, Lucinda literally kicked the door down from her own office, from her little makeshift office, and she's just like, all right, I'm gonna go talk to her. And everybody's like, Lucinda, she's like, no, I'm gonna talk to her. That's all I'm gonna do. And she's saying that while she's actually pulling out her fucking black gloves, and she's like, oh, I'm just gonna talk to her.
I legit heard a door or something. Brother, I opened it and I see that. I went, I think the woman's about to die in this situation.
Yeah, let me point some out. Like, Lucinda is not a wrestler, but she is one of the top. She's one of the top. She can fight as an understatement. She can beat some ass. All right. There's only 2 women in Wildcats that has ever fucking tried her and got set up quick. Why it's not good to do that? Been 2 women in Wildcats I can think of that's done that. Mercedes has done that before, and she got hemmed up. Not JC's girlfriend. The other Bombshell Club Mercedes.
Oh, Mercedes Sanchez?
Yeah, Mercedes Sanchez.
Really?
That was sudden impact Unleashed. She kind of got a little mouthy at Lucinda and was talking shit and said, fuck you supposed to be, She tried her, and Lucinda was like, huh. And she didn't do anything at first, and then before Mercedes could say anything else, Lucinda really comes back, cocks a right hook, and just decks her right then and there.
Jesus.
And just looked down at her and says, when you're done picking up your teeth, meet me in the office. And just fucking walked out.
Wow.
And the other time was this is funny. The other time was Haley Jonas.
Oh my god.
Holy shit, that was funny.
I can imagine how that must have went. I don't imagine.
I think this was around the time Haley had like 3 fucking titles, and she had to,
She like what was how you calling it? Triple champion and all.
Yeah, triple champion, and that was around that time. So Haley likes to rag on people a lot, We all do. Haley likes to rag on people, and sometimes, but the problem is with Haley, she kind of goes a little too far. And sometimes, when she rags on people, she goes and she goes. So she went to Lucinda and started ragging on her a couple times, and Lucinda was like, it's all fun and games, but at some point you're gonna have to tone that down a bit, because I am your boss at the end of the day. And Haley kept going and going and going. So it got to the point where Haley intentionally tried to get a rise out of Lucinda. Because Another thing about Haley, Haley is a badass in her own right.
Oh yeah, she likes to fight.
She can whoop some ass. So, the moment Lucinda told her that and gave her that ultimatum, that fucking alpha female mentality started kicking into her, and she just like, did I just get threatened? You know? So she just like puffed her fucking chest out and was just like, what are you gonna do? You know? Lucinda was like, what are you trying to do? And she just kept going. So at that point, Lucinda literally got up. She said, girls, could y'all leave the locker room for a minute? Every girl left that locker room. All they heard was a door. All they heard was the lock go click. Silence. And then they just heard shit flying. As soon as that door opened back, Lucinda is walking out. She's got like a cut, but she's walking out, leather jacket, her leather jacket in one hand, flexing her fist, trying to get the feeling in her in the other hand, and she's walking out of the room. Haley's not walking out of the room. Turn back around. Haley's leaned up against the wall trying to fight consciousness. Her face got fucked up.
Wow.
So I'm gonna point out, for those that watch Wildcats, the next couple episodes of Wildcats and shit, you'll notice that Haley was wearing more makeup than usual. That's why.
That would explain
To cover up
a lot of things.
To cover up the bruise, to cover up the left side of her face that got bruised up. You know.
Yeah, and that was in the lead up to Revelations, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Revelation.
3. Desperate,
Yeah,
desperate struggle.
Remember, by that point, I was wrestling around anyway, trying to go places, but I was still catching up on everything. Seeing that, and I'm like, why couldn't I turn up the music?
Yeah.
Now I see why.
Yes. She picked a fight with Lucinda and got her ass whooped.
So the hammer guy, I think the hammer guy thought was just going right about the scene at that point.
No, nobody did. Like, okay, everybody had respect for her. It was just those two in general that tried to think they were alpha females and got, put in their place. But they knew right then and there not to fuck with her. Everybody else got respect for her. But yeah, that was the one and only time.
Wow.
Yeah, people be like, and D-Wall's like, I don't listen to wrestle for obvious reasons. Because she's not a wrestler, she's a fighter, and she's just gonna fight people.
It's like, the saying, break your face.
Yep.
Can I bring up another name you I've seen, I see people break their faces with?
Oh,
I was going to CCL.
oh, I think I know you're going with.
Oh, I think you do. Lara Croft.
Oh, God.
Lara Croft, my God. Like, I have constantly said for years, like, Lara Croft, hardest right-handed virtual wrestler. Don't piss the Tomb Raider off.
You don't. You really don't.
That face, in the face. Like,
oh, but who was it? I'm trying to think of the time. I remember, the matches she had with Amber. The match she had with Amber.
Yeah.
I legit thought she knocked Amber out cold. With the amount of right hands she landed on her. And these were not, petty right hands. Amber and Lara were going at, full blood for the Core All Stars Women's title.
yeah.
Like the amount of headshots Amber took during that match. I think that was the match, really. How Amber's had the concussions and all that recently.
Oh, no, she's always had concussion issues.
Which she's always had, but I really think that match, accelerated the problems.
Yeah, she ended up getting a Class C concussion after that match. Like it was mild for years, and then it just went straight Class C.
Yeah, like that was the match, what accelerated the problems in that.
Yeah, and also
And
like
it weren't done in spite or anything.
yeah, it
It was
wasn't.
done in the style they worked in.
Yeah, and what was bad is like the concussion really started because of the spot Amber wanted to do, and we all know what that spot was. It was when Dante spiked her. That was
On her head.
yeah. Amber literally asked for that spot.
Yes, for it.
Yeah, cause she look. I'm gonna say this right now. Amber is one of the toughest women in the back, and she said to Dante straight up, "If you're gonna go out there and you're gonna get payback on the person that cost you the belt." And Dante looking at her, and he like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Do your finisher on the floor on me." And Dante's like, "Whoa." He's like, "Whoa, hold up. I don't. Amber, you sure about that?" She's like, "If you don't do it, I'm gonna beat your ass." And Dante's like, "Okay." Because Amber bad enough she can whoop a dude's ass,
Oh yeah.
So yeah, he freaking did the move, and she ended up getting a concussion, and like that kind of gave Dante some fucking heat for like 2 years after that, because everybody's like, "What the fuck you did?" And he's like, "Yo, I was like, yo, get mad at Amber. She wanted me to do that. I wasn't about to get my ass whooped." It's like I was just following the script. Shit, Like he got heat, but that actually started his heat with Zach. Actually, like besides the fact of his attitude, that's what got him legitimate heat with Zach for a bit. And he was like, "Dude, talk to your wife, because all I did was follow the script." And Zach's like, "You could have said no." He's just like, "Would you tell your wife no? Like, would you legit look Amber in the eye and say no to her?" So yeah, it started with Dante, and then it ended with that, and yeah, ever since Amber's been having head trauma issues, which I'll say majority of it has been brought upon herself because of that, but of the other half, it's just circumstance.
Just the nature of the business.
I mean, shit. I mean, dude, do y'all know that I've been fucking wrestling with a bad knee and a separated shoulder for like 2 years?
I knew about the knees, you understand?
Yeah, the knee, yeah. Like, it's an old injury that I got a little while back. The separated shoulder actually happened, I think, during my match. The separated shoulder actually happened in my Kenny Omega match.
With the which match?
The match with Kenny Omega.
Yeah, I didn't call that match because I had dealt with some.
Yeah.
How do you put it? I had gone through something at Conspiracy which no human being should have been tortured to.
No, I understand.
No,
I understand.
I think you both know what match I'm on about.
I'd rather not ever about that.
But, listen, I knew what I was getting into. I knew what I was getting into. When going to work with Matos. But
you didn't think.
I never expected her that night.
You do not. That's why I saying right now. I want to start for you. Personally.
It's one. You know what? Once you've experienced it for the first time, you're better off in the future with that. You get what I mean? Once you've done it the first time, you're better off. In a sense, you're used to it. That's what I'm trying to say. But so I remember watching the Omega Malik match. So shoulder was separated.
Oh, I had one time. I used to wear. I don't wear knee brace kind of thing on my face anymore. But here's 20 years ago. Wait for it.
Sorry, I blacked out there for a minute. I was checking my messages. I shouldn't be doing that while I'm driving, but still.
No, I
Yo,
know.
don't. You know, I thought for a second we're about to. Ah, don't do that.
Oh, jeez, I just checked. Damn it, I wish Maya had got that phone off her.
Oh gosh, you at it again.
Still at it, and how long have we been on the road now?
Oh my
I think the hour we've been on this road has been the hour on the. I never had her phone taken away. Would you say that?
Listen, all I'm gonna say it's very stressfully from, you know, as I referred to on the leak.
Oh,
God. Yeah.
Yeah, those, and yes, I will use it here. Those fuckers. And I don't care if they come after me. I'll keep on saying it.
Mm-hmm.
That's so tricky, but I. So they don't get him. They don't get him. Don't get my problems or whatever. Don't get my problems or whatever. I'm good.
God.
I don't care if they come after me or not.
Okay.
You know, sometimes. Sometimes Carmen knows when to just get on my last nerves, but at the same time, she knows when to just make me laugh.
She has the ultimate sense of dark humor. Am I allowed to say it?
She's better than me with that.
One time. Yeah. Trying to work. There's not a lot of. Okay, put it.
It's in a sense just having that complex, ain't it? Like, and this is the true thing about Carmen. Great to talk to, great to, you know, have a drink, but she always had that attitude where, let's be honest, she doesn't really. You know that sense of like, no fucks given. Am I allowed to say that?
Oh yeah.
And that's what makes her like so good to hang around. You know, as a friend and all that.
Yeah. That's kind of the reason that's kind of how we got together, so. Alright, I think we're getting that exit. We're about to get close to
we're
our
about to
exit
arrive.
now.
Oh,
Finally.
Oh my god.
that was
This has been a ride.
Yes, it has. It's been crazy.
nice.
We should do this more often.
Agreed.
Why not? Why not?